Sir, we are live, sir. I will start. Very good morning to all. It is our great pleasure to have you all for the Knowledge 4.0 webinar series, which is one of the unique initiative of Chennai Institute of Technology under the guidance of our chairman, Mr. P. Sriram, a successful first generation entrepreneur, a well-known industrialist, and managing director of MK Group of Companies. Under Knowledge 4.0, we have been conducting webinar series such as technical webinar series, research webinar series, career guidance webinar series, and innovation webinar series. Chennai Institute of Technology was established in 2010 by our Honorable Chairman, Mr. P. Sriram. Now our institute is being the second position in Tamil Nadu in the previously announced Anna University results. So today we have Mr. Krithivasan, Manager, India Campus Hiring and Junior Lateral Hiring, which is for the theme of future job perspectives and how to grab the opportunity. So it is my happy and pleasure moment to welcome you, sir. So we welcome you, sir. So I take immense pleasure to welcome our chairman, Mr. P. Sriram, to say a few words about this webinar. Over to you, sir.
Good morning. For all the participants, on behalf of Chennai Institute of Technology, on behalf of Chennai Institute of Technology students and faculty, and the organizing committee of Knowledge 4.0 webinar series, thank you very much for your participation. And my special welcome and sincere thanks to Mr. Krithivasan. Thank you for being with us, sir. Thank you. And my relationship with Varchasa and Mr. Krithivasan, and my institute relationship with Mr. Krithivasan is very, very special and very unique. Actually, even though we are 3-4 years old institutions, we had a very good relationship. We built a unique relationship with Varchasa 6 years before. We jointly introduced PEGA University Connect program way back 5 years before. And it was a very successful program. After practicing with 3 years with Varchasa, PEGA, they came out with the University Academia program, and now they launched worldwide. In India, more than 30 universities and institutions are having University Academia program. For that, at this moment, I take opportunity to thank Varchasa and Varchasa's team. Thank you very much. Varchasa, one of the organization driving new innovations, especially learning and development, and in hiring employee relationship. And it's a very technologically very strong organization with global outlook. Such institute, such organization produce many leaders. Mr. Krithivasan, one among them. And I have seen him when he visited first time our campus for hiring. Now he is a matured leader, thought leader, especially in campus hiring, now also in lateral hiring also. And he has been instrumental in making this University Academia program successful for Varchasa. They have established various centers of excellences across India, many top-notch institutes and universities. He is fully committed transforming youth so that they can start their career seamlessly without any difficulty after joining in their organization. So it's a great service, even though they are hiring their own organization. But apart from that, he has been very active in various forums and sharing his thoughts and inculcating some kind of habits among the students so that they can prepare themselves to face corporate well. So I don't want to take much time. I once again thank, and also for all the participants, as recently announced Anna University examination performance, academic performance for year 2019, November, December, Chennai Institute of Technology achieved second position after PSG Advanced Technology in Coimbatore. It's a unique and phenomenal achievement for us. And for that, we got lot of support from corporates like Virtusa and the people like Mr. Kirtivasan. And I, for that also, I thank him and thank all the people who are supported this organization. I'm sure today, this you are all participating today for this webinar. I'm sure it will be very useful, and also it helps all of you to prepare your students. For students, you can prepare yourself for meeting the expectations of corporate world. At present scenario, it's very unique. We never faced a similar incident in the past, especially Corona pandemic. I'm sure we are all work together. If we listen to people like Mr. Kirtivasan, definitely we can overcome. Thank you very much for being with us. And once again, I thank Kirtivasan sir for being with us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
So thank you very much, Chairman sir, for your motivation to conduct the webinar series in effective and successful manner. Now a few words about Mr. Kirtivasan. He completed his UG in Madras University and holds a PG diploma in HRM from Symbiosis University and received executive diploma from XLRI Jamshedpur. So all from the prestigious University of India. Previous to Virtusa, he worked with Meditrack and Deloitte. He is with Virtusa for the past 8 years, and currently he is the manager for India hiring, campus hiring and junior ladder hiring. He has been continuously supporting the students community for the betterment in their career development and career choosing. Thank you very much for being here, sir. It's my pleasure and honor to have you for this session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Bala and Sriram sir. First of all, I would like to place on record my interaction with Chennai Institute of Technology started exactly when I actually joined Virtusa as well. So while Chennai Institute was growing, even I was growing within my company, so I could see how the growth has been for both the parties, Virtusa, or rather 3 parties. Virtusa, Chennai Institute of Technology, as well as for my own personal growth and professional growth. And I'm really happy to see that Chennai Institute of Technology has been coming out in flying colors. And the recent the news about the results where CIT is ranked number 2. By the way, CIT is Chennai Institute of Technology. Now the erstwhile CIT has been removed and it is now Chennai Institute of Technology which has come up. So Sriram sir, probably you need to come up with a new terminology, otherwise
Yes,
CIT,
sir. Yes, sir.
People think it's the age-old CIT. So you have taken over that record. So probably you will have to do a different terminology, sir.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, this is a great achievement. This, in simple terms, it tells us that no matter when who's starting an initiative, it's all about if they put in their heart and soul, like how Sriram sir has done it along with his complete bandwagon, and look at the kind of results that they have brought in less than 10 years. I mean, they're still just about 10, 12 years into existence, but they've already been there. I mean, claiming that second positions in Tamil Nadu is not a simple thing. I mean, you have literally surpassed every other name that people could actually say that this has been by far the best colleges, and they have just broken all the records. It's not just one record at a time. They've just broken everything and come up. So my heartfelt wishes for Team CIT. And I'm really honored to be here today, to be sharing the screen and having a conversation with you. If not for the pandemic, we would have probably met. But one good thing that has happened with the pandemic is that most of the institutes like CIT who are caring for the student community goes over and above, not just for their own students, but for the benefit of many other students across the country and across the globe. They organize such sessions, and that's why if not for the pandemic, they would have organized something for their own students, and they would have even allowed other college students to come, but people wouldn't have gone.
Yeah.
They would be like, my college will be doing, so I'll wait here. They will come to my college. Now, COVID has actually brought everybody together, saying that there is nothing called mine or yours. Everything is same. For everybody, it's just one. And when you get an opportunity, can you make use of it? And there are someone who are giving you opportunities like Chennai Institute of Technology, Sriram sir and Bala. So for this, I would again like to place on record my sincere appreciation to the team. Now, I know I joined late, because of which it got delayed by 5 minutes. So my apologies. before I get started with my presentation, since I would not be in a position to have a direct face-to-face conversation with you even through video, I have decided to create a small poll and it will just show up on your screen now. Basis this, I would like to position my speech for the next half an hour, maybe. Start answering. You will see a poll on your screen. Please answer. What is your current perception?
No, sir, it's not visible, sir.
So people have started answering. Okay. So there's a fight between the first and the second option. COVID has helped me shape my career better. COVID has made me frightened about future. Now it is at 50-50.
So your screen is not visible, sir, it seems.
Sir, I'm able to see my video and I'm able to even see the poll results.
You are able to see the poll results?
Yes. It is now at 53-46. Now again back to 50-50. I'll give it probably another say 10-15 seconds and I'll close it. Okay, I'm gonna end the poll and the result says 45% of the people has said COVID has helped me shape my career better, while the balance 55% have said COVID has made me frightened about future. While there is nobody who has said that whether it's COVID or not, there has been no impact on my career. So that's good. So to the 45%, it's a clear evidence that you have made use of the last 4 months which was present in front of you. And for the 55%, maybe you lack a little bit of motivation and the support system that is required to probably shape in your career, to probably strengthen or what do you call do whatever it takes to ensure that you don't have to really panic. Okay, so my next 30 minutes that I'm going to do, I'm going to also use a deck. Okay, that will only help you understand what today's scenario is all about and how you can shape up. So for the 45% who have said COVID has helped you, that means you have really made use of the last 4 months. Probably these pointers you would have already started doing, but I would like to touch upon those again if you have already gone through, which only means that these are very important. And for the 55% who are frightening about what's happening today, if you start doing it right now, no matter the amount of time that you have wasted, that's okay. Gone is gone. That's it. You can't do much. But if you can put in your heart and soul with immediate effect, starting now, then I'm sure it's going to help you. Okay. Now, let me start showing my. Sir, I need to click on slides, right?
It's a slideshow, sir. You can, if you want to, share your screen, you have to click the third button in the top left. Turn screen share on.
Okay.
Or else you can go to the slides and upload your PPT and then you can operate.
Let me do this.
The easy way is to share the screen on.
Okay. I'll do a share screen, sir. Are you able to see my screen, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is what I had typically prepared. If you see the date, it says April 29. That's because I prepared this when the COVID was picking up and the lockdown was in its peak. And that's when I prepared it with a view of how it is going to be. And it so happens that it is happening the same way. So today we are actually going to talk about you in the sense the students, those who have, again, same thing. Either you're frightening or you're really happy. Whatever it is, we are still going to talk about you. What do you see here? is a typical job market. This is actually a typical job market today. The fact is, gone are the days when there used to be a job fair that used to happen, which used to be like this. When a job fair used to be open, companies used to come put up their stalls and say that, hey, come, I have requirements. Why don't you come join my company? I remember when I was studying undergraduation back in 2005-6. This used to be the scenario. While I was working with Meritrack, I used to go sit in many other job fairs of companies, supporting the companies doing recruitment. And we used to have a mad rush. But today, job fairs don't happen. But still, recruitment does happen. But why are we saying that even today it's a crowded place? We don't have job fairs, right? The fact is, in India, you have a very good demand. Every other company, just take the top 5 names that comes to your mind when it comes to IT services. Without even looking at it, you can easily name saying that it is TCS, Cognizant, Wipro, Infosys, Capgemini, and Accenture. All these 6 companies put together in a year, how many people do they recruit? Nothing less than 1.5 lakhs. Only these 5-6 companies. And adding all other companies, it will go up to say 4-5 lakhs. But how many people are passing out every year? It runs in more than 10 lakhs. So what is happening to the balance 5 lakhs? And these 5 lakhs every other year is getting added. By the way, don't go back and check whether the numbers that I'm quoting here is right or wrong. I'm just giving an approximate. It might vary. But the fact is, in India, demand is there, but the supply is much more. That's the reason we have this issue. When you have such issue, what happens? You will have to really stand out. You have to showcase your capabilities, your skills. If you don't even raise your hand, still, if I have to pick you from this room, how do I do it? Your skills and capabilities is what is going to show you very differently in a crowded place. Okay. Now, what do we do? How do we do it? A very simple thing. It's called the personal branding. Personal branding is the key, and that is what I'm going to talk about today. Now, before even we get into personal branding, whenever you talk about any sport, if it is cricket, we talk about Dhoni. If it is football or soccer, we talk about Ronaldo. If it is like a proper an entrepreneurship who has like gone like in no time, he has reached the pinnacle, and it's Mark Zuckerberg, right? We have so many other names, but these names come to our mind quickly. When we do that, what happens? Now, first question is, do you think you can make it as a Dhoni? You can make it as a Ronaldo? No. Do you think you can make it as Mark Zuckerberg? Again, no, it's just not possible. The reason why we are saying not possible is because you can't replace them. You just can't replace them. But what you can be is being yourself. You can be yourself. And that is what companies are also looking for. Companies are looking for unique capabilities that you bring on table, which can help them, which will help you shape up your career, and at the same time, which will help the organization get what they want. So personal branding is what is required today. So what is personal branding? What is your unique value proposition? That's what you need to understand. The personal branding is nothing but the skills and abilities that you possess as a person. What are the skills and abilities that I possess? I know that. What sort of interest do I have, and what sort of values that I carry for myself? Along with it, my personality. All these things put together. That's your unique value proposition. Unique value proposition is all about how different are you. As the name says, it's not about self-promotion. It's not about showcasing yourself everywhere, saying that, hey, I did this, I did that. Rather, it is all about differentiating yourself amongst the mass. If you have to showcase your capabilities, how do you do it? Now, this is the composition. This is the mixture that you need to follow. Then, how do you do it? Then it's all about preparation. The only way to make this happen is all about preparing. Now, how do you prepare? First thing, you will have to groom yourself, and you will have to be confident. The confidence should be there in your speech. The confidence should be there in your body language. The confidence should be there in your eye. Everywhere the confidence should be there. Most important, communication skills. Remember one thing, communication skills is something that everybody will be talking about. But if you ask me what communication skill is all about, in very simple terms, if you are able to understand what I'm telling you right now, And if I'm able to understand what you are conveying, that is a good communication skill. It is not about using US accent or UK accent or speaking very fluently without even no grammatical mistakes. It's absolutely not possible. It's going to take a lot of time and preparation. While preparation is the key, but for that, you need to start with, can you communicate effectively? Effectively is all about, if I'm able to understand what you're trying to say, and if my answer or response to you is something that you can understand, that's it. The most important again is knowledge beyond textbooks. What do we mean by knowledge beyond textbooks? Today, let's take the example of Chennai Institute of Technology. While they are an affiliated college to Anna University, but the fact is they are not only excelling in their academics, but they are also excelling in their industry preparation for a simple reason that they go beyond the textbooks and they do more practical work. And that's exactly the reason why they are able to be on top, whatever it is. There are many such colleges like that. I'm just taking CIT as an example, but there are many such colleges like that. Now, that is exactly what we expect each and every person to do. I'll give you one more live example. Today, ever since the pandemic has happened, there are so many people who have come back and said that, sir, there are so many certificates available. I have done these certificates. I have completed these certificates. Well and good. You have done 10 certificates. Can you at least show me one product or one project that you have executed from what you have learned from one of the certificates, not 10? Stump, direct, duck out. I've seen many people, they say that, oh, I just prepared it, it was theory, and I cleared the certification. Yeah. So you cleared the certification. It's even like your degree. Your degree certificate, honestly, if I have to tell you, please don't take it in the wrong sense. Your degree certificate is just an acknowledgement that you have gone to a classroom, and unless you have done a project, unless you have showcased what you have learned, it will still be a paper which confirms that you have gone to a college and attended the sessions. Your certificate is also the same thing. It is just a confirmation stating that you have attended the session. Unless you put in your heart and soul to do something out, which is going to fetch you results in terms of understanding the basics and strengthening your foundation. That is what knowledge beyond textbooks is all about. The other things are very, very simple: basic managerial skills, domain knowledge, and business ethics. Being honest. If you don't know, it is okay to say don't know. If you have a doubt, even if it's a silly doubt, that's okay to ask those silly doubts. Nobody is going to mock you. I use this statement, my favorite statement, which people have come back and said that, Kriti, this is too harsh. But the fact is, if you realize, then you will realize that if you understand this, then you realize the fact that it makes sense. It is okay to be stupid for 2 minutes than be idiot for life. It is okay to be stupid for 2 minutes than be idiot for life. What it means in very simple terms is, if you have a question, it can be any question. People might think that it is the dumbest question. That's okay. Your doubt is getting answered. 2 minutes, my person sitting to the next and the right are going to probably mock, and then after some time they'll forget. But what is happening? You get a clarity of thought. Your doubts are answered. But if you continue to keep that question with you, it's like you take a glass, it's empty. You have some doubt. The doubt is like water, and the doubt adds to it. Like that, if the doubts keep adding, and you don't really try to consume it, or you don't really try to let go of it, after a certain point of time, it will burst out. It will overflow. What will happen if it overflows? That's it. You will break down. And that's why I say it's okay to be stupid for 2 minutes than be idiot for life, thinking that, oh shit, I should have asked this question. Don't ever think like that. Okay. Companies look for people with a very good attitude. Training you on the skills is a very simple thing that anybody can do it. But if your attitude towards life, if your attitude towards people are not good, then nobody will look at you. That should be very, very important. So having all these things, now how do I do it? What's next? I need to create a powerful personal brand. How do I do? So first thing, now that you have understood, okay, what are the things that I need to do and everything, now you need to come up with a, again, structured process. First, you need to understand, what do I do? What is that I want to do? And then followed by, once you get an answer for it, who do I do it for? Do I do it for me, myself, or am I doing it for my student community? Am I doing it for my college? Am I doing it for my society? Whatever it is. And then the next thing, once you have these two answers, you will be in a position to answer, how am I unique? Because these things might be a repeat for many other people. But one thing that will not be repeat is how unique you are in this when compared to others. Once you answer this along with where do I do it, it's not about holding a piece of brick, but it is also about where you want to go and place the brick. Placing the brick at the wrong place will not help the construction, but at the same time, if you go place the brick at the right place, it will complete the construction. So that's why it's important. Where do I do it? Once you have these answers, you become a brand that people will look for. I have a video, but in the interest of time, I'll just play only the first part so that you get to understand. Bala sir, let me know if you're able to see the video and audio.
Sure, sir. Video is perfect, sir, but I couldn't able to hear the audio, sir.
Okay, looks like audio. I'm not able to give permission for audio.
Yes, sir.
It's coming?
Yeah, it's coming slightly, sir.
Chennai, every rising after of the day. There is no altogether, never been Chennai every traveler. And the bright fashion, very often, monthly and like feminine, gender, outlook, and gave first good customer. There is such satisfaction. They also have different television and now also start to offer free internet service to customers from next month. At the default, charge the maximum amount of 20 for your
என்னோட நேம் அண்ணாதுரன். நான் ஒரு 4 இயர்ஸா ஓஎம்ஆர் ரோட்ல சேரட் ஓட்டிட்டு இருக்கேன். அவங்க இந்த ஜாபை கொஞ்சம் சாட்டிஸ்ஃபைடா பண்ணணும் அப்படின்ற ஒரு காரணத்தினால மண்குள்ள சரி கஸ்டமர்ஸ்க்கு தான் நம்மளுக்கு கடவுள் அப்படின்ற ஒரு தாட்ல வந்து ஏதாவது வித்தியாசமா பண்ணணும் அப்படின்ற ஒரு அப்ரோச் தான் வச்ச போது சரி மேக்ஸின்ஸ் அந்த மாதிரி மீடியா வரலாம் ஒரு தாட்ல ஒரு 6 months அதெல்லாம் அவங்க சாட்டிஸ்ஃபைட் ஆவாங்க எனக்கு கிடைக்கும் அது பண்ணணும்னு நினைச்சேன்.
now started the 12th channel. Lives in the spirit and 50 brothers are also in fashion and service. Double the cost sometimes not the full question.
Okay, that's a pretty lengthy video, but that keeps talking about Annadurai. The reason why I wanted to show that at least a glimpse of that video is his own brand. While if you look at it, he's also an auto driver. He also carries passenger. He helps them get to their destination. Everybody else is doing, every other auto person is doing, but how is it different and why is it people go to him specifically and not to many other autos? The answer lies in the first few minutes itself. If you have seen the video, he has ensured that the passengers who are sitting in my auto, he wanted to ensure that they don't waste the time. So he has kept all the magazines and newspapers so that they acquire knowledge, not just entertainment, but they acquire knowledge. He has done multiple things, and he has also been helping the community, and that's why people really love. That's because the passion, the love for his passion and the work that he does is phenomenal. And that is what people always look for. So when you do something, okay, you can choose whether you want to be a normal or you want to be abnormal. By abnormal, what I mean is how far you can go, how far, the extent to which you can go to showcase that you are really interested and you want to do more and more for whatever that you're doing. End of the day, all of us are only going to get one thing. And that's very simple. Today, if I'm doing all these things, I love my job. But end of the day, what is motivating me? The salary that gets credited, the fuel of happiness that I get at the end of the month. Salary. Everybody does it for the salary. I do it because I work for my company because I get paid. But at the same time, how am I different? Is because I go beyond my call of duty. I ensure that whenever I get a request to engage the students, talk to them, motivate them, I do it without any hesitation. Even if it requires that I need to spend extra hours in a day, I'll be more than happy to do it. And that's how people are different. I can just be a simple campus recruiter where my company tells me go hire 100 people, I'll go hire 100 people, close, chapter over. And then until they tell me, Kriti, do these, I'll not do anything. So I chose to be different, and that is what I'm doing. Now, having said all these things, now how can you do all these? Simple. You have a powerful tool. You have two powerful tools. And I'm only going to talk about it just because I've said social media doesn't mean that why not I have put Facebook and Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is. No, those are all for your entertainment. And for your professional growth, GitHub and LinkedIn are the best tools. I'll also explain the next 1-2 minutes why LinkedIn and GitHub. First, LinkedIn. I'm sure most of you would have seen people, your own friends, talking about LinkedIn so highly. The reason is, ever since this virtual thing started, people wanted to showcase their work. Now, how do they showcase? If I don't get to meet this person, if I don't get to talk to him, how do I do it? Very simple. Go on LinkedIn and showcase your work. If you know me, and if I like your work, I'm going to like and comment. If I like and comment, all my connections will be able to see what you have done. And if everybody starts seeing, their followers, their connections will be able to see your work. And that's how you expand your network. And eventually people will start following you, and you will also start following people. You will get to understand what they are doing. You get to network with people. You get to do your own personal branding that we have been talking about since morning. You'll be able to learn and share. You'll be able to learn from others, and in turn you share whatever knowledge that you have, and you can explore opportunities. There is plethora of opportunities available there. And it also comes up with a lot of learning courses. You can showcase whatever that you have done in a video format, whatever it is, you can. And GitHub today with virtual, everybody are going to ask you one simple thing. You are a computer science engineer or you're an IT engineer. Can you show me how many lines of code you have written? Can you show me? How do you show them? You will not write in a piece of paper or write in a Word document and keep it, right? Definitely, if it is code, you will have to store it somewhere. There should be a repository, and GitHub is that repository. They are going to ask you to open up your GitHub account and ask you to show how many you have done, how many lines of code you have written. So these two are really, really important. Now with this, I would like to stop here because the next couple of slides that I have, I'm sure you guys have already gone through all these things. It's all about how the campus recruitment used to be earlier and how it is today. Let me just do a quick glimpse of everything. Earlier, you used to see everybody used to sit in a room, and then we used to do a presentation talk, and then we used to do the process. Today, it's everything is virtual. That's why I've mentioned BC and AC. BC is before COVID and AC is after COVID. You used to be inside your classrooms, take up the exams. There used to be physical invigilators. I still remember 14 years back, I used to be inside the hall invigilating exams. And back then also, it was very difficult to invigilate because you really can't find out if there is a malpractice or not. But with technology, with no manpower required, easily you can track whether someone is doing a malpractice or not. Let it be your eyeball movement. If I'm moving away from my camera, immediately it catches me. And if I'm trying to do a Teams viewer wherein I give access to external person, so that though I'm looking at the camera, someone else is writing the exam, yes, he'll be caught. And if someone is speaking, again, it will be caught. If someone is, if you are trying to stay away from the camera, everything gets caught. So no human is required. Computer will be your invigilator. So we have a one-on-one invigilation. Earlier, it never used to be possible, one-on-one invigilation. You don't really like someone sitting next to you and then looking at you. But today, your computer is looking at you while you're answering your exam. Your computer is your invigilator. Group discussion used to be in a table format. Now, group discussion is again going to be in a very system format. That's it. There is no difference in it. Your technical interview, a very interesting part which I really like, because most of the time when I tell my panels that you have not attached the code that the candidate wrote in the interview room, what happened? He says that no, Kriti, he was able to answer everything in a theory. I didn't really ask him to write anything. But the fact is there would have been some favoritism. The panel would have asked that candidate to write, and if that answer is not correct, he would have just thrown that paper, but still he would have selected. But today, absolutely, there is no room for it. There is so many options like code pair or evaluation on the screen, where while you're speaking to the panel, you're also able to type the code, and it gets documented, so you can't just escape. And finally, a project discussion, project manager or a HR discussion, which need not have a code element to it. We have other tools also. While we can use the same tools, we can also use Teams, Zoom, Webinar Jam, what we are using today, Skype. There's so many other tools. So net, it's going to be really good. The do's and don'ts I've just put up on the screen. I'm sure you would have already known. Make a very good eye contact. Ensure that there is no issue with your mic and audio. The internet connection is really good. And my sincere advice for every other person who's going for recruitment is that try and connect directly to the LAN cable and do not use Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi fluctuation will be there, but LAN cable will not have much of fluctuation. And most important, if you have an inverter at home, then ensure that your Wi-Fi plug is connected to a power point which has inverter connected to it, so that even if there is a power outage, your Wi-Fi will not go. This is one lesson that I learned by mistake, because I connected my Wi-Fi to a point where I didn't have a UPS connectivity. And for the first 1 month, I struggled. Then later, I called an electrician. I told him that, can you ensure that you get me a power to this where even inverter power comes to it? And he changed it. Right from that day until today, I've never had issues of internet outage, because no matter what happens, I ensure that my internet is what is going to fuel. And I've been ensuring that there is no issues. And the next thing, proper dress code. Today, if you, I mean, you're not able to see me fully, but the fact is I'm actually dressed up. Though I'm in casual dress, but still it's a Vertisa t-shirt that I'm wearing and a pant. I'm always in my full dress. You might think that anyways in camera, it's hardly shirt, that too only till chest it's going to show. You never know. If at all, if you, at HR interview, you might never know. People might ask you to just stand up and dance. Anything might happen in a HR interview, because HR interviews are basically crazy interviews. And that time they will even check your dressing. If they notice that you are in your pajama or half trouser and not properly dressed up, that shows that you're not serious. Facial expression, maintaining that very good facial expression is very, very important. And as much as possible, don't try to have a background screen like what I have today. It's so cluttered. The reason I have not changed my background is because I tell you by default stating that don't have something like this. If you think that the background looks pleasing and all those things, it is good for a casual conversation, but not for interview. For interview, try and keep it as a very blank screen, and don't look away from the screen. Background sounds, slow internet connection, casual dress code, and too many people are there in the camera. You're sitting in a place where there are people walking around here and there. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunities. In the middle of COVID, I'm sure you all will get placed. So with this, I come to the end of my presentation. And so, Bala sir, we can open for questions if there are any.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for the wonderful perspectives about the job opportunities even during the pandemic situation. So, as the poll results said, those who got the career better have groomed themselves and utilized the opportunity even during this pandemic time. So let's see if there is any questions. And I request the audience to post any questions if you have. So one question is like, what is the job opportunities in energy sector?
Okay, energy sector. Good question, but I I don't have an answer. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not so used to that particular industry. Uh, Maybe to the person who had asked this question, try to connect with me a day later, and I'll definitely have an answer for you. You can connect with me on LinkedIn.
And there is another question: how this situation will affect the induction, training and development, and deploying?
There is no disturbance at all. It is only a blessing because you get to be there in your comfort zone and then attend all the programs. You get to be there in the couch of your own home or your bedroom or your favorite spot that you will always have, right? You feel that if I'm sitting in this particular position, if I'm sitting on this chair, then this has helped me. And that is what we feel that it's a blessing. Everything is going to happen virtual because we really don't know when companies will be asked to open up 100%, and companies also want to be very they want to take a very informed call, because if any person gets affected, then the system is going to get affected, and that's why they don't want to rush and take a decision. And we are happy about the virtual environment. We will continue doing it in virtual.
Okay, sir. So another question is, as I said, job opportunities in IT sector.
Very good, 100%. But like I said, it's going to be your skill and ability that's going to help you, because the more and more of virtual, that means more and more process rigorous will be there. So it's going to be very important. Sir, if you don't mind, can I just take a 2-minute break if you don't mind?
No issues, sir. Please.
Just give me 2 minutes, sir. It's an important call I need to take. Just give me 2 minutes.
No issues, sir. We'll wait.
I'm back, sir.
Okay, sir. So we answered the question: job opportunities, IT sectors, and what about jobs in COVID situation?
Jobs in COVID situation, in the sense, I mean, Is it like will opportunities open up, or what exactly is the question, sir?
One Mr. Bhuvanesh Kumar has asked job opportunities in. Sorry, that question is by Dr. N. Kishore Nath. What about jobs in COVID situation? I even couldn't understand the concept, whether it's opportunity because of the COVID or opportunities inside the COVID.
So, if I have to tell you honestly, opportunities, especially in COVID, is something that I feel it's a blessing for the students. There are so many opportunities that have opened up for a simple reason. Today, because of whatever has happened, the economic turmoil, we don't really have to get to that zone. Okay. But what has happened is the client spendings have come down. The client's IT budget has come down. When the client's IT budget has come down, they have started telling their vendors that I can't really pay so much. While I need this work, but I can't really pay so much. Now, because of which, further it has come down in a zone where the vendors, typically an IT services company, started saying that I will do the work for you with one condition. Earlier, if I used to do it with 10 people, and the 10 people mixture used to be like 5 experienced people, 3 junior and 2 fresher. Right now, I will do with 2 experienced people, 5 junior and 3 freshers. So that means freshers requirement is increasing at least at a 10 to 15%. But the only change is that fresher does not mean plain raw fresher. They look for people with the skills and capabilities, and if you are one among them, then yes, I'm sure future is going to be much fruitful.
So to add to your point, this COVID made a very good situation for the students to work as their remote interns. So from CIT, I think minimum of 75 students to 80 students are doing, paid internship as freelancers. It's not a kind of internship. It's like a freelancer. So they will get a project, they will complete it, and they will get paid for the project what they have done. So it's been
gig economy. Honestly, this is what is called gig economy. But you don't really go get employed in a company, but you pick up some work, you finish it, and then you get paid for it. This is very, very common in US. They call it as a contractual employment, which is nothing but a gig economy. In India, they still don't. They are like how it used to be back age old, where they say that all these Western concepts will not fly in India. Even today, they say that, but slowly companies will start moving. Even we, IT services, we have started something called non-linear approach. There's something called linear and non-linear. In very simple layman terms, linear is all about I have a problem statement, I build my team, and then the team will start providing solution for it, for which I pay them salary. But that's to an extent, the companies have started thinking that that's a little bit of burden, because I'm looking at today, I need to probably construct an apartment. So there are someone who are experienced in constructing apartment. The same person might not be experienced in constructing something on the waterways. So for that, I need to really look for someone else, a different capabilities altogether. So that's why companies have started using this non-linear approach, wherein today I have a problem statement. I go out, I tell a company or a group, and they work on that, and then they give us the solution. And they buy that solution, or if I say future, I buy that company either with employees or without employees. That is non-linear growth. I don't really, until I get a solution out, I don't really add that people to my ecosystem. And for the company who's building it for me, for them also, since they are expertise in that, they will keep building it for many other IT services. They don't have a restriction that I can do only for Virtusa. That is non-linear, and companies are moving towards that. That is also to an extent called a gig economy, where we take support of external people. Without adding headcount, I add revenue to my organization.
Yes, sir. And one of the students has become like, he become an entrepreneur by grouping 5 people. So whenever there is a more project comes, he distributes to them. He gives salary, in a fixed monthly basis, and then he becomes the entrepreneur in that. Fine, sir. So next.
That's really amazing.
So another question is, can a student or employee with only knowledge can survive in the virtual world?
I'm sorry, sir. Could you please repeat again?
So can a student or employee with only knowledge can survive in the virtual world?
Only knowledge will not help you. You might have umpteen amount of knowledge, but have you put in that knowledge to something useful? And that is what is going to help you with lessons, and that lessons is what is going to help you. Just acquiring, I mean, I have a book, I keep reading that book. Okay, I have something called The Tool. It's one of the best books that I've ever studied. I'm still reading. I mean, I've not been able to read it completely. Normally, there are people who complete a book in like 1 or 2 days, but I'm not able to do it because this is so depth. I study only 1 or 2 chapters in a day. I try to acquire, I try to put it in practice, and then I try to understand, and that is what is going to help. If I just read the whole book, I would have acquired some knowledge in terms of what is written in the book, but then I will never be able to put it in practice. Unless you put it in practice, it's going to be very difficult.
Yes, the next we have, while skills you acquire make you stand out in a hiring process, what is your suggestion to learn new skills during this pandemic, especially ones that require hands-on?
Very simple. Again, you have wonderful tools right in front of you. If you're sitting in front of system, everything is there in that system. You can get on to website. Coursera is there. You have there are Udemy. You have so many other tools, and today most of them have given at a very cheap cost. Now, don't say that. See, even during pandemic, they are charging. The reason they are charging is for a simple reason that you get seriousness. Otherwise, everybody will think that it's only free of cost, right? Then it doesn't carry value. That's why they're charging a little bit of amount. Pay that amount. Get serious about what you want to do. Everything is there in right in front of you. In fact, my suggestion, I wanted to tell people that I think you should start even charging for webinars. That's when people will be serious about attending. Otherwise, everybody will think that they'll come and show, sir, I've attended 10 webinars. Sir, I've attended 20 webinars. But that's not what it is. It's all about how much of knowledge you have acquired, and from those, what have you done. It's going to be very helpful, and it is important.
And to add to your point, the Coursera now has given free access to the universities and colleges. So almost our students have done more than 1,000 courses online in Coursera.
That's amazing.
And next we have, peer groups are big boon in learning. With this present situation, how could we make a effective peer learning?
I'm sorry, sir. Again, could you please repeat?
Yeah, peer groups are big boon in learning. It's like peer learning. He's talking about the peer learning. With this present situation, how could we make effective peer learning?
Again, you have a lot of free tools. You can just group amongst yourself. You can go for a free Zoom, or you can go for Google Meet, or a tool the college is using. Start creating rooms within it, and then start interacting with your friends. If you think that I don't have options, you will never have options. If you start exploring, you have plethora of options available right in front of you. There are so many things which are even more free of cost. Leave aside WhatsApp calls. Just get into Zoom, get into Skype. All these things are all free. You can do a group learning along with your friends, even right sitting at your own residence.
So we'll stop with this last question, sir. With limitless verticals and options for learning, how do you recommend a structured and experimental based learning?
I'm sorry, sir. Again,
I will repeat it, sir. With limitless verticals and options for learning, how do you recommend a structured and experimental based learning?
If you ask me, there are so many things that are available. But first thing, what you need to understand is, what is that you want to do? What is that you really want to do in today's scenario? And then understand, okay, if I have to do this, where do I get my required information? Because if you ask me, I'll tell you something. If you ask your friend, they will tell you something. If you ask your faculty, they'll say. Everybody will tell from their own experience. But then what exactly you want to be, what you want to do, first you write down. And then basis that, once you have a clear-cut vision as to what exactly you want to do, 50% of the problems are solved. Then you will be in a position to take it up to the next level.
Okay, fine, sir. So considering the time, we will stop with this, sir. So I really thank Mr. Krithivasan for accepting and being here for this wonderful webinar. I hope many of the students and faculty members from various organizations, various institutions would have got a clear idea about how this situation is going to be and how you have to grab the opportunity, so that you can convey the same thing to your students, so that let them get benefited. As he said, during this pandemic also the hiring will happen, but we need to get prepared virtually for all the other process, like online aptitude, GD, technical also. So we have to emphasize our students to make use of the online tools, and they should be used with the current online tools. Thank you so much, sir. And on behalf of Chennai Institute of Technology, I thank Mr. Krithivasan as well as the participants. Thank you so much, sir. Have a wonderful day.
Bala sir, Sriram sir, and to all the audience who have come here today to listen to me very patiently for the last 1 hour. Thank you so much, and apologies for the initial delay, and also in between I had to stop because of an important call. I'll be more than happy to answer your question. If you have any more, you can come on to LinkedIn, you can find me, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. Thank you so much, and wishing you a wonderful future ahead.
Thank you so much. You can connect with Krithivasan sir in LinkedIn. He is very active in LinkedIn. Thank you all. Bye.